Yo, what's good YouTube, man? It's Gary with another Fan TV, man. Back action of the video, like the content. This video, go smash that like button, like the content of this channel. Go over here, subscribe, man. Look, the Ravens dog walked the 49ers 33-19, man. So let's get right into it. Usually I don't talk about the other fan base, but I did a video earlier this week, right, about the Ravens being disrespected through the media. 49ers fans found the video or whatever, and they was talking a little trash. A lot of them show respect. So respect to the ones that show respect. I appreciate y'all. You know what I mean. But there was a couple people in there that was talking too crazy. Listen, you want to have faith in your team. I get that. I do. But you got to realize that what the Ravens were doing in a tougher conference, in a tougher division, right? This wasn't going to be a walkover game for the 49ers, right? I see somebody said 49ers are going to score 38 points minimum on the Ravens and 41-21 Niners. Like, it wasn't ever going to go like that. All right. So, you know, that's all I'm gonna say about that previous video. You know, a little slice of humble pie for the Niners fans who were talking a little bit too crazy. I think y'all a good team, right? I think that y'all are now seeing that. Listen, I know. Listen, Brock Purdy, I think it's y'all quarterback of the future, right? I believe that. I do. But MVP, he's not that. I'm sorry. MVP is number 23, not 13. Okay, it's not that guy, right? If they gave the award to people besides quarterbacks, give it to Christian McCaffrey. Okay, that's the MVP of the league. Okay, all right. So listen, man. So I ain't talking about that no more. Let's talk about the actual Ravens side of it. I'm not going to say anything negative today about the Ravens. The Ravens showed up and showed out. This is what I say all the time. This is what Ravens fans have always noticed about this team. When it comes to playing good teams at the top of the list, a team where you might be feeling like you're the underdog versus a certain team, this Ravens team shows up and shows out on a consistent basis. I said this in the last video or two videos ago. I said that I will be more worried playing the Panthers because the Ravens tend to play down to their competition. But the Ravens see the team like the 49ers and say, okay, look, this is a game we got to show up for, and I'm ready to show up for it. So I really had no worries about this game in terms of were the Ravens going to get blown out, were the Ravens going to. I wasn't worried about that. Now, could the Ravens have lost the game? Of course. I respect the 49ers as a team. But that kind of performance that they just put on, they did it to the Seahawks, they did it to the Lions, now they did it to the 49ers, okay? I'm not trying to tell y'all, what you should think, but to me, the Ravens have showed once again why they're the best team in the NFL, okay? Now, let's get into how I usually do it. Like, let's start off with the injuries, right? So there is a couple of injuries here, a couple of big ones, honestly. Kevin Zeitler was out, Patrick McCary out, and then the biggest one was Kyle Hamilton. So two starters with Kevin Zeitler and Kyle Hamilton. Kyle Hamilton was on the sideline once again, chilling, kind of like he was the first time he got injured. So maybe he's okay again, hopefully. Kevin Zeitler, I didn't quite see what happened to him, but I believe that he had, I think they said, a thigh injury. He did not return to the game. Okay, so, and McCary, I think it was concussion protocol. Then they said he had a head injury. So those are your Ravens injuries right there. Okay. Now let's talk about standout performance, and I want to start on the Ravens. I want to start on the Ravens defense because this game started off very, very shaky, right? You know, the Ravens, Lamar Jackson gets the safety when the referee needs to get the hell out the way, tripping over his own feet, then ends up tripping Lamar Jackson in the process. Ends up getting the safety, okay. 49ers drive down the field, get the field goal. All right, so it's 5-0, but the defense is playing well, right? I think that one of the big things I talked about in the game preview was that the Ravens have to be able to tackle in space, right? That's going to be the big thing versus 49ers team. They are the premier team when it comes to yards after catch, right? Now, was it perfect all night? No, of course not, right? Kittle got off early. Debo had some plays. Ayuk had some plays, but these are great players. You're not going to shut them down completely, right? But for the most part, on the night, I loved how the Ravens tackled, right? So, all right, so stand-up performance, right? First guy I got to talk about who got injured is Kyle Hamilton. Kyle Hamilton is playing like the best safety in the NFL. He's doing it all. You want him at the line of scrimmage, make a tackle, he could do that. You want him to stop a running back in the backfield, he could do that. You want him to play high and bait a quarterback into a throw, into an interception, he could do that as well. Brock Purdy throws 4 interceptions, right? MVP favorite. Brock Purdy throws 4 interceptions, okay? and two of them to Kyle Hamilton because he catches one later on in the game as well off of a tip pass from Marlon Humphrey. All right, so that leads right to the next guy, which is Marlon Humphrey. Marlon Humphrey has taken a lot of flack, criticism for whatever reason. People don't. Ravens fans seem to have a weird kind of sort of beef with Marlon Humphrey. I know he has kind of a weird, quirky personality, right? Which can be out the blue sometimes, whatever. And they don't think he's serious about football. Marlon Humphrey is a dead serious football player. Okay, hitting, tackling. He had a couple where he tried to lay the boom on Debo, instead of wrapping up that he missed. But 9 times out of 10, Marlon hits. Okay, he brings you to the ground. And the hit he put on Debo was a hard hit. Debo was just, he's different. You know what I mean? But he catches an interception off a Brandon Stevens pick. Brandon Stevens is another guy who had another great game. So for me, the three individual standout performers for the Ravens defense is three parts of that Ravens secondary, which is Kyle Hamilton, Brandon Stevens, Marlon Humphrey, right? And then I can't go without giving a shout out to the entire Ravens defensive line, right? When it comes to batted balls, when it comes to heating up Brock Purdy, they were on it all night. So let's look at the stats real quick for the defensive line. Um, Kyle Van Noy 1 sack. Brent Urban, they gave Brent Urban 2 sacks on here. Jadeveon Clowney 1 sack. TFLs. Brent Urban had 2 TFLs. Jadeveon Clowney 2 TFLs. That's the same as the sacks really. Travis Jones. I think this is the game that broke Justin Madubuike's streak. Yeah, Justin Madubuike didn't have a sack in this game, so that streak is over, unfortunately, for Madubuike. But this Ravens defense, when the offense started off slow, this Ravens defense held the fort down and showed that they are the best defense in the league. Now, hopefully, Kyle is okay, because if he is okay, this is bar none the best defense in the league. Okay, so when Kyle's not out there, they are a different team. So hopefully he's okay once again. But when he's out there, they are the best unit in the league. I feel very, very comfortable saying that. Now on the offensive side of the ball, right? First guy I want to talk about is Zay Flowers, man. Zay Flowers had 13 targets, 9 catches, 72 yards, and a touchdown. Now, he had a couple of drops mixed in, right? This was the portion of the game where the offense was starting slow, trying to find their rhythm, trying to find their footing. Honestly, to start this game, the offense looked nervous, like jumpy, like they knew it was a big game, so they were like overly pumped up. You know what I mean? So once they settled down, Zay Flowers did his thing. They treated him, Lamar Jackson treated him like a wide receiver one tonight, peppering him with targets, and Zay Flowers showed up and made a lot of plays out there today. So this draft pick by Zay Flowers was a guy that I wanted the entire draft process, right? And throughout this entire season, did I think going into the preseason that Zay Flowers would emerge as this guy year one? I didn't, right? I'm gonna be very, very honest. I thought it was maybe like a year two kind of thing, but he's way ahead of schedule, and he is the Ravens' best wide receiver, right? I have no problem saying that, and I love it, man. He gets in the open field, he's shifty, he can, he makes multiple defenders miss. Zay Flowers is true must-see TV, right? Now go to the number one guy that's must-see TV and the player of the game, and that's Lamar Jackson, right? If you want to talk about the MVP as a quarterback award, okay, I will hear you on that. Then Lamar Jackson has to be the odds-on favorite right now, right? He just has to be, okay. He put on a star performance in the big lights in front of one of the best defenses in the NFL in the 49ers, right? He put on a star performance. Now, during my game preview, I said that I wasn't particularly worried about the 49ers 49ers secondary, right? I feel like they have a good front seven. Their secondary is okay, right? Especially without Hufanga back there, right? Deshaun Gibson had a rough night. Some of the other safeties and corners had a rough night, and Lamar Jackson took advantage, right? So Lamar Jackson on the day was 23 for 35, 252 yards, 2 touchdowns, 7 carries, 45 yards on the ground. So we're talking about 297 yards on the ground. Not on the ground, sorry. 297 yards total for Lamar Jackson and 2 touchdowns. So Lamar, when it came to extending plays out in the pocket, getting out the pocket, making plays, a touchdown to Aguilar, great play. Touchdown to Zay Flowers, another great play. Lamar Jackson made so many plays just to extend the drive, right? I think end of the first half, he scrambles for 30 yards because the Ravens in position to take a field goal. To start the third quarter, he makes a play where, out of structure, once again, it's a play action to Gus Edwards. Gus Edwards leaks out the backfield. Lamar Jackson scrambling, making it happen. finds Gus Edwards right there. That's like a 30-yard completion right there, right? So Lamar Jackson in and out of structure tonight, outside of, I would say, the first quarter. So second quarter on, he was MVP Lamar Jackson. First quarter, like I said, the whole offense was kind of jumpy. Like they were really, really excited. He was throwing passes behind the receivers. It wasn't a very cohesive effort. But once the Ravens offense settled down, they looked like a top flight unit, especially in the second half, especially in that third quarter. The fourth quarter, let's call it what it is. It was 33-12. The Ravens went to prevent defense. They went on prevent defense and went on prevent offense, right? Offense, they were just running the ball first 2 times. The third down, they might throw it. Defense, they were keeping everything in front of them just to let that clock bleed, right? So, but whenever offense needed it, the defense needed it, they stepped up and they played, right? So, once again, man, I am really encouraged by how this team overcame adversity, right? Because we've seen before in offensive performances, right? I'm thinking of past playoff performances, right? Now, this is obviously a regular season game, but when the offense had started off slow, it would just stay stuck, right? And they might get it later on in the game when the game is kind of out of reach at that point, right? This time, they fought through it, and they made the plays to correct it and got over that hump. That's a big deal to me, okay? And then for the defense, they did exactly what I wanted this defense to do. Make Brock Purdy win this game. Show me, Brock Purdy, that you are the MVP of the NFL. I want to see it, right? Because, listen, I'm not saying he's a bad player. He's just not the MVP of the NFL. So, to me, the MVP of the NFL can put his team on his back, make multiple plays that's like, okay, he's that guy, right? Like, when everything else might be falling around him a little bit, he's that guy. Lamar Jackson showed that on the other side of the ball. Brock Purdy did not show it tonight. Okay, 4 picks. Standout ended up throwing the 5th one at the end of the game to Marcus Williams. Shout out to Marcus Williams. Got the use of both arms now. That's beautiful. So this game, right? Lamar Jackson moves to 20-1 versus the NFC. All right, 20-1 versus the NFC. So I'm not sure if 49ers fans were aware of that, if they were aware of how Lamar Jackson plays versus the NFC, or how this Ravens team is playing this year in general, right? But the national media disrespect was too far, all right? The Ravens came into this game as a touchdown underdog. It was too far, okay? The Ravens were legitimately coming into this game at minimum the second best team in this league, right? Okay? And it was way too heavy on the 49ers side, all right? It happened with the Detroit game too. Detroit was kind of a hot pick, come into M&T Bank, beat the Ravens, and the Ravens beat them down. You know what I mean? So 49ers were a hot pick, that they're rolling, this and that. What the Ravens do, they beat them down. All right? So all respect to the 49ers. Great team, but you got to recognize who you're going against, man. This was a very, very physical football game, and I loved every second of it. So the Ravens win 33-19. Lamar Jackson, player of the game. Lamar Jackson, MVP favorite. Lamar Jackson showed what Cam Newton was talking about, the difference between a game changer and a game manager. They came at Cam Newton sideways because of that. This is the kind of game Cam Newton is talking about. All right, so, but that's my thoughts on it, man. Give me your guys' thoughts and opinions in the comments, man. We'll talk about that. But it's Gabriel. It's another Fan TV. I'm out.